you look at it a little bit, all we talked about was why we have 2 games in a row where we played pretty good for a quarter and a half, and then all of a sudden the same guys that were blocking well or tackling well, now we're not. So how do we get past that when we hit a little flood? The last 3-4 minute mark of the second half, or first half, we haven't played well. We haven't started our third quarters, and we've let some games get out of hand in that what a lot of people call the middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half. So we've talked about that, whether it be play calling, whether it be halftime adjustments, and doing a better job as coaches for sure. But again, I think our kids can continue to play hard. I thought we've had a good week of practice during the open date. Quickly, all we did was Sunday we watched the tape. You do so much specifically to try to stop Army that you don't really look at, okay, now this week you're going to do it. Now this week you're kind of back to a different type of defense coach. You're not seeing the option, etc. We did have the ability over open date to, though, do some fair amount of, when I say self-scouting, you always do that. You look at how many times you're running the ball or throwing the ball, but really start looking at some efficiency things of, if we're blocking, if we're running a play and not doing it well, is it because maybe we have an issue in the blocking scheme? Or if we're giving up a big play in a certain defense, is there an issue with our coverage or our front, etc.? So I think we've been able to look at some things, try to point our guys in some direction that what we want to go. Monday was an off day. We practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The coaches recruited Monday, Tuesday, Friday. We had a couple coaches and the young coaches here for guys on Tuesday. Thought we had great work last week. Gave the guys the weekend off. We got back together last night, started our temple prep. Basically looking at last week as the open date of just trying to, what we like, what we don't like, what do we need to work on, looking at us. Really flipped it yesterday into getting into temple. And of course now we're in a normal game plan week, and we'll travel up there to play temple this week at 2 o'clock their time, 1 o'clock here. Get temple, much like us, has been on the short side. They played a very strong schedule. They played at Oklahoma. They played Army. They played Navy. They played Coastal Carolina. They had a great opportunity to beat Connecticut and had an error at the end of the game, which cost them. They had a chance to win that game in the final seconds and didn't get it done. Had a good win against Utah State. So they're 1-5. Defensively, they're playing a really pretty solid, and I think they're 5th in the conference at pass D. Know their defensive coaches, know Coach Drayton well from his career and across his past. A lot of respect for him. Offensively, their receiver leads the conference in receiving. I think they played 2 quarterbacks, maybe a little bit of injury, but trying to get settled at quarterback. So they had an open date like us, so they have had a lot of time to kind of look at themselves and prepare. I think it'll be a good game, a good challenge, and looking forward to a good week and getting back on track and playing strong and playing the best we can this week.